Nothing changes.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome into the channel. Tonight's video is going to be a little bit of an up, a little bit of a down. You saw the title. And yeah, the IRS has pushed the tax brackets for 2022 and the standard deductions up. Now, full disclosure, of course, I'm not a CPA. I'm not a financial legal accountant or anything like that. So I can't give you official tax advice, but I did want to make this known to everybody that the tax brackets are changing again and that the standard deduction is changing again. I thought this was an important video to make for you guys. Now, a lot of resellers, as evident by the Facebook group posts and Instagram posts, don't understand taxes, don't understand deductions, don't understand a lot to do with accounting and on the small business side. So please, as always, get a CPA. It is in your best interest, at least for a year or two, until you learn everything and understand it, and can possibly do it on your own, but still have a CPA look at everything to spend the money on them. They're worth their weight in gold. Mark II, who is better known as Not Your Dad's CPA. His website is linked below if you want to get his services. I do have a discount code I'll put down there for you as well if you decide to use Mark in his Reseller Academy. He's awesome. He's a reseller himself and a certified CPA, so he can help you out. But let's go over this tax bracket increase, and it's real important because it has to do with inflation. And I also want to compare it to the tax bracket changes that were done in 2016 and beyond during the Trump presidency to the tax changes that are happening now during the Biden administration. Now, I don't want to make this political. I'm just going to give you exactly the facts as they are, as what happened then and what happened now, and then you can make your own observations on that. With that said, these tax changes are not for right now. What's going on in 2021 is just stay the course. These will start in 2022 for the taxes that you will file in 2023 that will reflect the income you do next year. So these are not now. These will be for the 2022 year that you will file about a year and a half from now. So just keep that in mind. And hopefully that won't change too much for too many of you. But anyways, let's go over this and I'll show you exactly what is changing so you have a little bit more understanding of it. Oh yeah, as a total side note, you guys might have noticed I actually did finally, as promised, I hooked up the microphone to the swing arm, so you guys will see that on the video now. This audio you're hearing is out of my iPhone because I can't hook the microphone up to my iPhone, but when I do screen records and stuff like that, all the audio will be through this microphone. Hopefully you'll hear it. It will sound better. And as we're speaking, it's not done yet, but I am also installing that blue and black stuff is soundproofing foam for the wall. So it's going to be all on that wall. There'll be some behind me on this wall, some on the side walls. So anyways, it'll help dampen the audio and make it sound a lot better. So that's the goal. And yeah, hopefully let me know at the end of this video if the audio sounds a lot better. Okay, so again, I just use news sites and websites based on the story, not on my politics. So this is CNBC from Personal Finance section by Kate Dorr. She's a CFP. Inflation pushes income tax brackets higher for 2022. This was updated November 11th, which is today, about 2 hours ago, which was at 10:52 a.m. I'm recording this in the afternoon. So inflation, yeah, it's really just the inflation that's to blame to it, honestly. The IRS has announced higher federal income tax brackets for 2022 amid rising inflation. The standard deduction is increasing to $25,900 for married couples and $12,950 for single taxpayers. There's also changes to the alternative minimum tax, estate tax exemption, earned income tax credit, and flexible spending account limits, among others. So let's scroll down here. It just repeats that. It says the consumer price index surged by 6.2% in October compared to the previous year, the biggest jump in more than 3 decades, which is basically how you measure inflation. The consumer price index raising by 6.2% basically means you're paying 6.2% more for all the normal things, essentially. As price hikes continue, the IRS has boosted the income thresholds for each bracket applying to tax year 2022 for the returns filed in 2023, which is what I just told you. So, the marginal tax brackets for tax year next year, this is for single individuals, from $0 to $10,275. So this is if you make $2,275, you'll owe 10% taxes. Somebody who makes $10,276 to $41,775 would be $1,027, which is that 10% of the first $10,000, and they would owe 12% on the amount over $10,000. And then it goes on from 41 to 89, from 89,000 to 170, 170 to 215. Now that's a really big jump. People making 89,000 and then people making 170,000. So for many years, that's the tax bracket that I fell in. Last year, I actually fell in this 170 to 215, but if I remember right, it was 165 to 210. It was about a $5,000 difference. And then you have a 215 to 539 and 539 or more. So my tax bracket last year was 32%. Thankfully, after all the deductions and everything, I only had to pay about 18%. I got it to almost half, not quite, but that's the luxury of being a business owner. You actually do get to deduct a lot of things. So then underneath that, it has the marginal tax brackets if you're married filing jointly. So you can look at all of that and you can compare it to last year's tax brackets. It's a little bit of an increase, not too much. The standard deduction rising to 25.9 and 12.9. I believe it was 12.5 for individuals and it was like 25,000 for married or 24.5. So basically the standard deduction, if you have like W-2 jobs or whatever, most people take the standard. If you're a business owner, you should be taking itemized. Generally the itemized deductions, like on the 1040s or whatever it is, they end up being a better deduction for you than the individual. Like if you're single, taking 12,950 in deduction is great. But if you have way more in like expenses and shipping and all that, then it's going to work out better for you to itemize it. Again, talk to your CPA. Other adjustments, such as changes to the alternative minimum tax, parallel system for higher earners, and an increased estate tax exemption. Workers may also save more to the 401k plans in 2022, according to last week's announcement, but there won't be a higher limit for individual retirement accounts, which is like an IRA or a SEP IRA. If you have a 401k, how many people in the comment section do have a 401k through a company or business you work for? You'll be able to match and save more on that, which is pretty awesome. So there's not a ton of more information about this, but just know that inflation is now causing more taxes than before. So if we go back and we do the tax bracket change under Trump, which I believe was 2018 or 2020, it was right before, it was in the middle of his presidency, and I believe that was I want to say, we'll put in 2016. I'm just going to Google this. The tax bracket change under Trump, I want to say it was 2018 when I noticed it. Tax bracket change under Trump. So I'm just doing like basic Google search here. It's not trickling down. So before Biden became president, this was a lot easier. Tax bracket change 2018 to 2019 maybe. Yeah, here it is. It was from 2017 to 2018. So in the middle of his presidency. So if you look, the 2017 tax rates in the standard deduction was only $6,350 in 2017. It went up to $12,000 in 2018. So obviously Trump took office in January of 17. He was elected in 16. He took office in 17. So what was already planned for 17 was beyond his control. 2018 is when it changed. So the 10% on 9,500. So you got to make more money before your tax bracket went up. So for example, let's say in 2017 you made, in 2017 you made, $91,900. You fell inside of the 28% tax bracket. So for 25 and 28%, there was this. However, if you went up into the higher tax brackets, it got worse for you. As you went into the 35% under Trump, if you were 200,000 or more in 2018, you had to pay that 35%. Back in 2017, you would have fell on the 33%. You got a bigger tax bracket break in 17 before Trump was president than when he became president. So look again at 39%. People over 418,000 in 2017 had to pay 39.6. You had to go over 500,000 here. So back then they were, these higher brackets, but then it changed as you went to the lower brackets. So there was a lot of changes between when Trump took presidency until now. And now we have another change. And so again, not to get political, but with every president and every administration, we see changes in these tax brackets and in these standard deductions. So this is nothing new. It changes almost every administration unless there's like a back-to-back, repeat president, which we didn't have a repeat president this time. I don't imagine we're going to have a repeat president in 24. what it's panning out to be. And so this is just something to talk with your CPA about and keep up with. I thought it was important to tell you guys about these tax brackets. So make sure you are aware of this, along with the $600 1099 decrease down to the minimum threshold for 1099s for any platform. And now with these tax bracket increases, it's clear that the government is trying to collect more taxes from people that actually owe them. I'm all for people that owe taxes paying their taxes. Just don't come after those of us that are honest about it and try to make us pay more. So there you go. You know, if you're a millionaire, billionaire, yeah, you should be paying a solid amount of taxes. But those of us that are just making, you know, 100 grand, 150 grand, yeah, we're comfortable, we're doing okay for ourselves, but we don't have an extra 20, 30, 40,000 to just be throwing at taxes. So please don't come after us. It would really be helpful if I didn't have to pay more than 28 grand in taxes this year. So there you go. Inflation pushing tax brackets higher for 2022. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Please don't shoot the messenger, guys. Anyways, leave your comments, questions, concerns, or opinions down in the comment section as always. And I can't wait for tomorrow night, Friday, November the 12th. I will be releasing the most awesome accounting and bookkeeping program you have ever seen from my Reseller Genie online. And that will help you keep all of your stuff straight so you don't have to worry about all of these tax issues. You can just hand it over to your CPA, print out your reports, and you're all ready to go. Until then, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss tomorrow night's video and presentation. And then I will see you then. Have a wonderful night.